Oh, I'm live. I'm live. She's alive. She's alive. Chat roll. Please be over the age of 17 and please be kind to one another. Ta-da. Hello. Hello, person who has come into chat, who I cannot see yet because I'm still moving stuff around. Let's see, make that. Oh no. Oh no, what did I do to my screen? Yes. That is not what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to do. Still as discombobulated as ever. Hello in Chatland. Is anybody out there? Hello, Thomas. Good morning. Happy Sunday to you. Hello, Louise. How are you? It is nice to see you both. Let's see here. We do some last minute combobulating since I am, as usual, discombobulated. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that'll have to be close enough for hand grenades and horseshoes and hand grenades. That's it. Hello, Leah. Um, well, I'm glad to see that you are not lurking today, or if you want to go back to lurking, you can. Hello, Catherine. Nice to see you and welcome from Southern California. And Louise, I am excellent. I'm happy and safe in my own home, and just had a nice shower and hopefully breathed a bunch of steam so that I can get through this without coughing. Melinda, hello, and welcome to you as well. Um, and hello, Jill, and Rain Janes, and everybody. It's just amazing. I've had just a fantastic week. I have of course been following a bit of social media and seen things get really kind of nasty between my friends, um, which I find disturbing. But hopefully everybody will calm down soon. Hello from Florida, Edna. And hello from Kim. Hello from Kim. Hello to Kim. Oh, Melinda, honey, it's not a paid gig. I know that you've got a real life. So please know that you were missed. You were absolutely missed. But that I don't expect everybody to show up. It's always nice when you do. I love those, I love to get to visit with everybody and all of that. But I know that sometimes it's just not possible. Hello from the city of Kim, yes. Um, we had some happy mail this week too. Ooh, look. It's gorgeous. Actually, I had three things arrive, right? Now, I've got to tell you that I ever since I moved into this house, which was 19 years ago now, 18 years ago, Susie, yay from over the pond, and cold and raining there in Scotland. Oh, I wish I was there. It's warm and raining here, unfortunately. Um, uh, I have had a dial phone, one of the old push button phones that you could turn the ringer off. And the problem, of course, was that I would get so many, especially this time of year, you get so many political calls and stuff like that. what do they call it? Spam phone calls. Anyway, so I've had the ringers off on my phones for 20 years. But yes, I was in the thrift store the other day. Brand new in the box was a wireless telephone with caller ID for $1. So I bought it. Telemarketers, that's them. See, it's been so long since I've had to talk to one, I've completely forgotten what they're called. Thomas, I can't imagine that is a question for me. So I don't know who you were talking to, but whoever has a husband, I don't happen to have one currently. I've learned to add the currently because it's like, you never say never, right? Never again. I've had 3 so far. Maybe there'll be a 4th one someday. Anyway, yeah, it was a great deal. And so it's weird because it's the programmable kind. So you can actually program people's numbers in. Nice phone. I have no idea why it didn't get used. Anyway, but it came with a charger and the batteries in it still work and everything is. Oh, I know. Aren't they awful, Thomas? Aren't they awful? I mean, can you imagine having to have that kind of a job, though? Because I know it's got a really high turnover. I tried phone sales once. I lasted about an hour. I worked for that company for 1 hour, and that was it. I was like, oh, heck no. Kenny, look what arrived, my dear. Thank you so very much. Everybody, this beautiful Rita Berman book was gifted to me by our Miss Kenny, who is just so special in the community. And she and I both have an absolute love for Rita Berman's work. And so this is The Land Under the Water, loosely translated. And it is, and we're going to look at the other thing in a second. It is absolutely gorgeous. And if you have not seen this book, it is the companion. Oh, wait. Where is it? Because I'm. All right, this is this one. Where is the other one? Oh, no. Oh, no, I'm coloring a picture in the other one. And I don't know exactly where it is. But the other one is the land under the land under the microscope. And we looked at that. But this one is The Land Under the Water. So it's got water, images, and all of that. And this one is, of course, my favorite one. Lots of fishies. But my favorite one is this one. And so I'm going to start with this, but I have to figure out how to color it first because I want to make it so that it's under the sea and it's dark, but there's light coming out of here. And I don't know how to do that yet. So I am going to investigate Instagram and Pinterest and see how people have colored this one. And then I'm going to decide how I want to do it. So, Nana, how wonderful to see you. But everybody, isn't this an absolutely gorgeous thing? Thank you so much, Kenny. Kenny also recently sent me this one. So now I have all the Rita Berman books that I had on my list. This one I loved because it's like the best of her 4 seasons books. She did 4 separate books, winter, spring, summer, and fall, or winter, spring, yeah, winter, spring, summer, and fall. And then she did sort of this compilation book, which has the best of images from all four of those books. So whenever possible, I like to do a best of purchase because that way um, I have, because I don't need the other books if I have this one. That's what I'm saying. I go for the better deal. She is just the kindest human being, and so this one is the companion to the land under the microscope. So the land under the water, and so now my Rita Berman collection is complete until she releases, another new book that I can't live without. At which point in time, I will put it on my list. Um, and I just, look at the clownfish. I just love this. Just absolutely love this. Um, yeah, color morphia, exactly. Where he's got, pictures, books that that he's done. And anyway, I can hardly wait to get to color in this, and we will do so, both of these, in the coming months as we go along. Um, so bless you, Kenny. Thank you very, very much. And it arrived. It came. I'm like customs. What? Why? What am I getting from overseas? All right. I am going to continue on this, and the reason why I want to is because it's coming out so good. I just have to show it to you guys. Um, well, hi, Beth Ann. Isn't she wonderful? She is one of my top favorites, 5 favorites as well, as is Jane F. Hankins. And I started working on this last Sunday, and we did the bug, and I only did a first layer on him. He has had his second layer, and he is now done. And of course, I did a midweek video. Excuse me. You have a cup of coffee here. A midweek video. Let me get you down here on this one. I did this flower. I only had gone as far as one layer and putting on the base layer. I used Cali Art marker for the skin colors, for the skin color on the fish, or on the fish. Now I got under the water on my mind on the flower, but I've since added a little makeup. So she's got some blushy cheeks, which I said I was going to do, and and I did a second layer. Sorry. I did a second layer on the petals, and then I got inspired to use dark gray. So I used the charcoal gray and laid in the shadows. And didn't it turn out so cool with the dark gray, just really subtly? And I also used that dark gray over here as I was putting on the second layer. And it really, it's all about the contrast. And I think it really brought out his body, and it made it so much better. So today, what I wanted to talk about was how we get strong, vibrant color when we're using Inktense really lightly. Oh, wait for it. You mean this one? It will post as soon as I finish this one. which is not anywhere near done yet. I can put it in early if you want me to, but I've been putting them in two at a time. Um, but I can put that one in early, Jill, if you'd like me to. Um, and so anyway, but I this is not decidedly not going to be a mandala. So whereas this one is a mandala, this one will not be. And you can, I mean, I like to show you these things because it sort of shows you my process. Lots of people draw in different ways. I, of course, like precision. So I use, a lot of measuring and a lot of straight edge devices. And then, of course, I hand draw other parts of it. But I just like the precision that it draws to it. So yes, there is a new drawing underway. And Susie, can I just say, it is good to see you out and about again. And and anyway, okay. So I added for her little face, and let me see if I can zoom you down even more. Oh, actually, let's do this. Ta-da! So as you can see, I added a little bit of blush to her cheeks, and I used one of the Colorit gel pens, which Kenny also sent. So Kenny, she spoils me. She's just so amazing. I used one of the hot pink color gel pens, and I even managed to leave a little highlight on the lip, uh, so that so that's how she looks. So I'm really pleased with how that little face turned out. All right, so let's talk about the color intensity and color variations. Y'all know that I think of Inktense, and I think I said it in my midweek video, that I'm sort of thinking of it like I'm painting. And once I really sort of admitted that in my head, that gave me a whole new sort of perspective on color variegation and things like that. And yeah, oh, Susie, I'm sorry. I know that that can be terrible. I had one the other day, and it was not good. Um, and and but so I wanted to show you how I've done this, because this is about a gajillion different colors. It's really only three different colors. It is the Shiraz, it is the Crimson, and it is the fire, the chili red. And then the thing that really brings it to life is the sienna gold. And it's all done in layers. So, and so I've left it in various stages. So I started out with the Shiraz. Sorry, I'm not going to put all four of them in my hand because then I end up doing that. I started out with the Shiraz, and I just did dark right here, laid down some pigment, and then I started to go around and put it in between uh, the 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 different layers of this chrysanthemum. So I've left some yet to do, and remember that these tools are not sharp, and so you're going to want to, I mean, I know that you're going to want to sharpen them, but don't, because the little bit of extra that sort of makes its way into your the rest of your drawing works. and it works for you and not against you. Make sure that we're in focus here. Okay, so I think that focus is pretty good, yeah. As you're in the shielding group, but you need to go out sometime. Ah, I consider myself so lucky that this whole thing has not changed my lifestyle one single little bit, other than when I do go out, which I do occasionally, because there are a couple of things that I cannot have delivered that I have to go after. And the other day, I desperately needed cat litter, and it's the one thing that the store didn't deliver, even though they normally would. I don't know whether they were out or it was just a mistake. But oh, has anybody ever had to deal with Walmart with your grocery delivery if something doesn't arrive? I mean, literally, I contacted them, and within 15 minutes, I had a refund. I was shocked. Their customer service is that good. And at least here in my store in Virginia. Of course, I have to pay for the delivery service, which cuts into my budget, but um, that's I would rather buy less than have to go after it myself. I just, guys, if I get sick, that's it for me, you know. So I just have to be so careful. No health insurance, and I live alone, and I'm my sole support. So if I go down, who's going to feed my cat? So there are lots of people like me, so wear a mask. And that's all I'm going to say. Um, all right, now I've got the crimson, and this is our next color, and I'm going to just do a little bit of this. And now, even though, and all I'm doing is just adding a little bit on top of the Shiraz, and then also down here at the ends of the petals. Not a lot. Of course, I had a couple of people contact me and say, aha, that's it, that, the tendency that they've been having and why the Inktense haven't been working for them is because they're laying down too much pigment. So if you can get around that, you will fly there to feed coriander. Okay, I may hold you to that. Actually, my next door neighbor does have a key. Um, yes, I could do the free pickup. That is absolutely, I could do that. But you still have the same $30 minimum. And there is where I start to, or $35 minimum now. That's where I run into the problem. Because once again, my grocery budget has always been about $15 a week. So, so I sort of save up to get the, to order it. I have to order every 2 weeks. Um, so if they don't deliver something, it's not like I can then just call up and then go pick it up. I actually have to go into the store or order another $30 worth of stuff. And I can't, I just can't afford it. I just can't do it, so I don't have a choice. I have to go into the store um, to get cat litter. Now, fortunately, I will go in to the Food Lion. I won't go to Walmart because the Food Lion, because the Walmart and a Wegmans and everything else is, within spitting distance of each other on the corner of the boulevard out there. Um, there's usually less people early in the morning at the Food Lion, so I feel safer at the Food Lion. And I feel badly for people like Louise that have to go out and face the public every day because she works in public transportation in England, guys. And, she's already claustrophobic and doesn't like wearing the mask. And people are, jackasses are out there playing games with other people's health. And it's just got to be very stressful for a lot of other people. And here in the United States, oh my gosh, the numbers are just so awful right now. And I'm not talking about testing or news media or whatever. I'm talking about talking to people that are doctors and nurses and are actually in the industry. Thomas, didn't we establish you're like 28 or something like that? 32? 27, yeah. I knew it was something like that. Thank you, Kenny. Yeah, I too thought Thomas was a teenager. It's just because he's so nice. And he has a good mom who taught him well. And one of these days, she's going to let you buy some more coloring books, Thomas. No, it wasn't, Kenny. Hello, Kathy. Um, and hello, everybody. And yeah, that minimum, it's just, boy, those minimums are just killers for the delivery. But it was very nice that I was. Oh, speaking of which, thank you to those people who dropped notes about watching Homestead Heart. Um, did you all see today's video? I was just, excuse me, from them. I just had to laugh because, I have done that. I have done that. People have sent me PayPal, and I did not know it was there, and have failed to say thank you. And so that was the subject of their video today. Apparently, she was thinking, it never really occurred to her that people were sending her, uh, were sending them cash donations for their farm or for their channel. And when she tried to delete PayPal from her phone, it wouldn't let her because she has a balance. And uh, I had to laugh because they came on the air today and they're like, "Oh my goodness!" And it's like enough to pay for their irrigation system supplies that they needed. So I just thought that was funny. For those who might not know what I'm talking about, I in my last video I shouted out Homestead Heart and I left a link, and it's a channel of a couple that are they bought a homestead. I don't know quite how many acres, and they're sort of taking everybody on the journey of what it's like for people with a basic knowledge of how to grow food, uh, to doing it, and all the problems that you face, and raising livestock and chickens, and learning from each other, teaching others. I will never ever look at a I will never look at a ripe pineapple the same way again. It used to be that I would not ever consider buying a super ripe pineapple because I won't usually eat a pineapple right away. And because, you know, usually it's just me, it's a little bit hard to eat an entire pineapple. But if you buy a super ripe pineapple and make pineapple jam, oh, one pineapple, you've got like 2 years worth of pineapple jam. That was so cool. Oh, Kenny. Oh, that is fantastic news. Um, that is sorry, didn't mean to go quiet on you. I was reading chat there for a second. So all I'm really doing is, putting down a layer also of the crimson. Now, the key to doing this particular technique is you actually have to do it in layers and then let it dry between the layers. So this layer here, uh, otherwise it just sort of blurs. And you don't want it to blur. You want them to actually, sorry, sit on top of each other. But even if you only colored with a Prismacolor pencil and all you did was just this part, I mean, look at how cool that is. It does create sort of a really interesting effect. Kenny, that just makes me so happy. Just mostly so I know you're not alone there. You know I worry. Kenny, has the did any of that trouble there that Palmdale was happening, did that land over in Lancaster at all, or? Okay. So that is, now this is going to be really light and it's not going to look like much to start out with, but well, hang on, let me grab a, go with a paper towel since I don't really know where my cloth one is. So I'm going to wet those and then just sort of bring it in on top of each other. I'm not going to worry if I leave a little bit of sort of jerky line because, or what I mean, harsh transitions, because that's all going to be fixed with our next layers. In fact, I almost want those sort of harsh, well, I don't want them, but feather them out. with more pigment. Hi, Mona, and hello to anybody that I might have missed coming in the door. Welcome, welcome. We are working in Jane Hankins' Friends from My Imaginary World on the Summer Serenade drawing. Just doing a quick recap here. And we are, earlier we went over this gorgeous book that I received from Kenny, along with the other one that I reviewed, or that I did, showed a couple of weeks ago, that she was kind enough to send. And I am going to be coloring in those. And I do believe that for the very first time, I am going to try coloring with gel pens. So I want to pick one that I don't know that I'm going to do it all in gel pens, but I would like to do. I was watching Anne work on a pattern book that she was doing it in glitter gel pens, the CalArt glitter gel pens, and I found it fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. She was trying to color outside, but it was just too hot, and Oliver was not cooperating. He was in the house apparently raising holy heck that she was outside away from him. So this is the Crimson and the Shiraz. So the Shiraz obviously is to the inside. And then I will even be adding some gray around on the, well, I think I already did. I think around here I already added some gray. See, once this starts to dry, how pale it is, but it's another, wait, okay. Oh no. All right. Well, we wanna let's try if we can, and it's probably my bad for bringing it up. Let's try if we can to keep the bad stuff out of the stream if we possibly can. I know that there is a lot going on out there, guys. What I want is for it to sort of be a respite in here from all that, and it's my fault for bringing it up in the first place. So I apologize to everybody. Unfortunately, this stream is not going to be a place where we're going to be able to solve the issues that are plaguing society these days. I don't know that that will happen until we're able to actually start listening to each other instead of shouting at each other. And I just hope that that happens soon. I have, I like I'm sure many of you have, I have chosen to start watching the news somewhat sparingly. Not because I'm in denial, but because as you know, I can't, there's nothing I can do about it except stress. I could, try adding my voice to the fray, but that wouldn't do any good because, like, once again, nobody's listening. Everybody's shouting. And it's like when my neighbors were, discussing just exactly this issue, and I realized there's as much dissension in one family as there is, between groups of members of the society, of who people are. It's just, we've got to all shut up and talk one at a time. Fortunately. I think that's how we got into trouble in the first place. I think we stopped listening to each other because we were all so busy talking. So this part is, it's a little tedious, but the result is worth it. It's like, it's layering. It is truly layering. You're layering with ink and, doing your best to control it while still letting it go wild, and so I'm just, doing the dark, tapping off, letting it pick up some ink, and just trying to preserve that light spot in the middle, but still not, end up with harsh edges. Although the harsh edges are not really, they're not really a problem, because you can add color on top of the color. Once it's dry, between the layers. And I'm just tapping in these little tiny spaces. I'm just sort of tapping with my water brush just to get the ink wet instead of trying to spread it around. Because if you do that, it will naturally flow into each other. And these are Inktense, not watercolors. Excuse me. Earl Grey. Ooh, yum. No, I put the gray over the crimson. That's the gray is the last step. Now, the reason is because that way the crimson shows through the gray and not the other way around. Does that make sense? In other words, when you look at shadows are gray of the shadow over whatever color the thing actually is. So if you've got a red flower and it's in the shade, it's got a gray cast over the fact that it's red. And that's why the shadow looks more natural if you've got color underneath it. So you see how this turned into purple? Oh, yeah. Thomas, are you flirting with Nanimo? She likes that, by the way. Ah, Nana. It's always nice when young men flirt with us. And so I just sort of picked out that question. Yeah, no, it was the gray over the crimson. as the last step. And I used the charcoal gray as opposed to the neutral gray because the tone was better against the red. The neutral gray was good against browns, but the charcoal gray is better with the pinks and all of that. That's what I used on this one. And I just literally, I mean, I was just barely touching the pencil. That's why, and I also want to do this face because these cheeks are literally one like that. And that was enough Inktense to make those little cheeks. Um, any more than that, and she would look like a little streetwalker, a little heart. What are yeah, she would look over made up. There you go. How about that? Better choice of words, Christine. Overly made up. So I just, and just keeping it dark down at the base, and then once you've done this part and it's dried, you can see where to add additional dark, where you need additional shading and shadowing as far as now there's no gray in this yet, so except for right along here as I was working this out to show to you guys today, because I actually was coloring along on this, and I thought, ooh, that is something that you should show folks how you did that, especially when I started to add a little bit of because I only added the sienna gold this morning, and I went, that's it, that's the final touch. That's the way I want it to look. So it's got all of these rich colors. It's different, but still matches the little girl here. They're all little girls. And then this one over here is going to be golden yellow. But it's truly going to be golden as far as, because I'm going to use some browns and some crimson, or browns and amber and the mustard and probably the sienna gold, possibly the sun gold, maybe something even lighter as far as yellow. I just want her to be she's going to be the ultimate focal point there. He's the ultimate focal point, but I want her to be the other, the other star. And so this does take patience, but it's so much fun, really. I mean, because with your water brush, it's not like you have, you're not, it doesn't feel, at least to me, it doesn't feel like when you're layering with pencils. Mostly because there's no wax buildup. So you don't have, I mean, I love my pencils, don't get me wrong. I even broke my own rule, and I put pencils on my I let Sammy talk me into those into wanting those Sergeant Arms, because I'm all about the budget brand pencils. I like to be able to show you guys what can be done with budget brand pencils. And at the price here in the United States, they're under $30. So, for 72 pencils. And that is just amazing. Hello, Elizabeth. And hello, Donna. And hello to anybody and everybody that I may have missed coming in the door. It's so lovely to see everyone. And may I ask, please hit that thumbs up if you like being here. It really does help. Okay, so there is a first layer on the red. So as you can see, we have oh, wait, Jinx Christine. Oh, did you do it too? I'm sorry. Oh, Nanimo, okay. Oh, okay. Thank you, by the way. Those additional 4 Inktense colors in. Oh, terrific. Okay. Well, that's wonderful. I don't know, Elizabeth. I could ask her. She does comment on my streams. She both finds them on her own, and I usually tag her when I post to Facebook. So, but she commented on both the one where I did the bug, and this one, the one where I did this. So, hello, Mary. Nice to see you. Okay, so you can see the big difference. Now, there are 2 additional layers that will go on this. The first one is the chili red, and I'll show you when this is dry. I'll show you that, and then the last layer is just a little bit here and there, not everywhere, but a little bit here and there of the sienna gold. So that is what's going on there. Now I am going to do the CalArt trick on her face again. Now I don't know what color I want her little curly lock to be, but I am going to start out with making it this lovely willow brown around the outs. Oh, yeah. And then I'm also going to add a little bit of the sienna gold. Make her a nice little auburn girl. Or golden, whatever. Okay. So now on this one, now I will tell you that there is there is a certain part of me that feels terrible that I am coloring these guys with white skin. Does that sound awful? Because I do not know how to color darker skin. So I just want you to know that I am acknowledging that, and I would color these ladies these flowers as with all sorts of different colors of skin, but I don't know how. So, and I don't know. So, yeah. That kind of a dumb thing to say, but it's just true. R400. I want R400. Sorry, I had to look up what color I needed for this. I need to learn. I need to learn. And on the other hand, I'm not sure that that wouldn't be insulting on some level. You know, so because I mean, we all have a tendency to color, you know, what we see in the mirror. And I mean, obviously, like, you know, you have folks like Dee Dee who are doing commissions and things like that. But I was watching Sammy coloring the gorgeous skin tones on a little girl in the chariot. I was thinking, God, I wish I could do that. I wish I knew how to do that. Because she can actually see that in her mind's eye. And I just don't know I don't know how to do it. All the highlights and because that is, I mean, that's the key to coloring darker toned skins. Is you got to be able to hit those highlights. All right, so there is that little girl with my appropriate embarrassed look on my little face. You can't paint Monet, but you don't paint you. Okay, so that just, all I did is I just wanted her to actually have, a face, so she didn't look so unfinished. Okay, so I think this needs to dry just a tad more. Now, look. You see what I mean? Even Jane's paper bleeds through with markers. So always, always, always remember to put your plastic down between your pages if you're going to use markers for any part of it. I do want to do this. Now, I know that this part is going to be the golden colors. And let's plan that. Okay, so I know that I want these two. So I want the mustard. You know what? I don't think I want the amber. I know I want the mustard and I want the tan. So I'm going to grab the tan. And the mustard. Now this part is a little bit harder because I have to figure out it is the sienna gold. So there's the sienna gold, and then I also want the golden yellow. Yeah, the golden yellow. Okay. So there are our 4 colors for this. Now, I also am going to, in the very bottom, this is what I mean. When I when I color with Inktense, I am usually coloring from a point of view of lots of colors. So I want saddle brown. And the trick is to be able to use lots of colors without ending up with mud. How long do you let a page dry before adding another level of Inktense? Beth Ann, like for instance, I could probably add it now, but I usually wait probably at least 15 or 20 minutes between layers. It depends upon the paper. I could bring in a hair dryer or something along those lines and dry the page that way. But usually when I'm coloring, like if I was just sitting here coloring for myself, I would color that and then I would set it aside and I'd go do something else, um, for, for 20 minutes. And then I'd come back and then I would, continue on and then go somewhere, as soon as I put that layer on, I'd go do something else. So that is, as far as when you're going to layer with Inktense like this, or I would move on to a different part of the page like I'm doing now. So I'll do a couple of petals on this and then I'll go back and I'll show you the other part. No, I would not use a heat gun ever. Here's why, Shara, I have no place to plug it in. I've got every outlet in this office has got a power strip on it with at least 8, powers, 8 plugs, and every single one of them is in use. This room is wired to the max, and I just don't have the space for it. I just honestly do not have the space for it. Plus, I have never been impatient, and I know that I would, for my personal channel style, I would rather move on to show you a second area than to get the quick, to get the quick payoff on just having that one. Okay, so let's do 2 of these. And so this is, by the way, this is the saddle brown. And as you can see, I'm just using it very, very lightly here in the shadows. It isn't going to be my final color because I am going to be adding, I'm using the charcoal gray for my shading and shadowing, which I will also use on this. But see, the reason why I went down here a little bit is because this one is leaning over this one just slightly, as it is over here. Whereas on this one is slightly above, so I might come down just a tiny, tiny bit right there. All right, so that is the saddle brown. Now I've got the tan. And here, I'm just going to sort of follow a little bit of Jane's shadings. Once again, I am using the weight pretty much of the pencil to determine how much pigment is being laid down. I don't want an awful lot. And then I'll go over this part where it's sort of brown, because these are the browns. They're golden browns, but they're browns, so they're darker. And we are back. What am I doing? 10. Okay. Then I might even come down a little bit with some of these lines. All of a sudden my breathing tubes want to shut down. Being very calm. This is the mustard. So now we're getting a little more golden. And I do want to be a little bit sparing. Here's where I'm going to start coming around my edges and maybe down just a little bit. Also following those tan lines. Not coming super far, because remember, we can always add more color later, but we can't take it away again. So we're just sort of adding it a little bit at a time. Where it curls under, up there, where it curls down, under, down there. Maybe a little bit right in there, where it would be curled away. Okay, so now I've got my sienna gold. And all the while, I'm still leaving my center sort of light. So there's my sienna gold. Now this is my main color. Going over some of the other areas. Sort of going here around this one. Want to maintain that light spot there so it matches what's happening where light is hitting our little fellow. Same thing over here. Your Hobby Lobby just opened up again. Ah, see, now I have not been to Hobby Lobby. I've never been to a Hobby Lobby. There is one here in Virginia Beach, but it's far away. Well, far away. It's across town. And of course, Virginia Beach is huge, so. Geographically huge. All right, so that was the sienna gold, and now I've got the yellow, the golden yellow. So I'm using sort of sparingly. Now note I have not put in my white yet, and I am going to have to put in that white. But, so I'm just coming around the edges of the highlight. And then I will also, just to sort of hedge my bet a little bit, I'm adding just a tiny bit. Once again, I'm only using the weight of the pencil, not putting any pressure on it, just the weight of the pencil to add a little bit of pigment to the page. Now this hopefully is going to work out. And if it's not light enough or dark enough, I can always add more, right? I'm going to add just a touch more of the dark, sort of around the edges. Not a lot, but just because so much of that lighter ink got on top of it. This is what I mean about Inktense. It is so strong. Okay. Now I'm just going to start to stroke down in one sort of fell swoop. Toward the point. So just like that. And then when it dries, you'll see how you'll need to tweak it, because there will be a second layer that you're going to need to put on, or not, as the case may be. Sorry, while I'm concentrating. I finally decided to embrace the fact that my Inktense are my favorite medium. Stop making excuses for how much I love using them. A budsicle. Oh my goodness. I want one, please. I actually have some Rocky Road ice cream. I love the Walmart ice cream, and what I really love is that it's only what $1.84 for a half gallon of ice cream, which I love. You look at a pint of Ben and Jerry's, and it's what $4 or something like that, whereas you get a half gallon of Walmart ice cream for $1.84. I feel bad for the milk farmer that didn't get very much for his milk, but I'm happy that I can buy ice cream for cheap. So I buy Rocky Road. So you can see what I mean about, how you can end up, okay, about how you can end up with a rich variegation of color, just by how you put, how you put it down and where you put it. And it really is a little bit like painting. So now we're going to move back on to our flower because I think it's dry on the side that we started on. So now I've got, I did my my Shiraz and my Crimson level, and now this one is a much redder red. So as you can see, or you may not be able to, these are pink reds here. So they're more on the blue side of red. But the chili red is more on the true red, as is the hot red, but I wanted to step down a little bit towards blue, so I went with the chili red. And what I was after was a rich red color. And yes, yes, I miss thrifties. I really do. Because, I'm originally from California, so I, uh, I am, I'm used to all of those. I got to Arizona just as the last of the yellow front stores was closing. But California had white fronts, I think. So I'm just adding just to the tips, mostly, a little bit of this bright red. And it doesn't have to be to all of them. So I might. It's just a different red. Not being too, I am sort of using medium pressure to lay down a fair amount of pigment because I want to brush it back over the top of some of these petals. And you can see where it is as you're putting it down. Okay. Sorry, I've gone all quiet on you as I'm just trying to decide. Oh, look who just walked by. Hello, Coriander. You want to come say hi? Oh my goodness. Let me tell you what. I forget every once in a while that, cats can be pretty vicious. I'm sitting here last night, just sort of, minding my own business, and all of a sudden, you'd have thought that there was World War III breaking out. The cat went after something it saw outside on the deck. Turned out to be the big tomcat from next door, who was just strutting back and forth and sort of pissing her off, basically. All right. So that is the, but she went after him with a vengeance. Fortunately, she can't get to him. So I'm trying to leave as much of it as possible down there at the tip. Now I can't remember everywhere that I put it, so. So this is the, sort of the next layer. It's not, I think that on the lower ones, I put it a lot more places, but I could be wrong. And if you want to add some more, you can just take it directly from the tip, but be very careful because you pick up a lot of pigment that way and you don't want to turn it all red. You want to preserve that variegation of tone. One of when I first sort of fell in love with Inktense, it was because I'd been watching Katrine at Always Coloring, who we sadly lost a couple of years ago in the community. But she loved this medium. She used it a lot, and I really enjoyed watching her videos and learning from her. I do believe that the videos are still there. Seems hard to believe we're coming up on 2 years. Didn't she pass away in July? For those of you who might not have known her, she was a beautiful young 23-year-old woman who died of a massive blood clot to her lungs. Unexpectedly. Not that anybody could ever expect something like that, but she was just so lovely. I watch her videos now and I just cry. As you listen to her planning her future with her boyfriend and, you know, which books she was going to give to the children that she would have. And it still makes me cry. Okay, so now I think I missed some out here. So I'm going to add a little out here. But see this, you know, sort of this brighter red. Oh, well, hello. Hello. Would you like to say hello? Whoops. Let's see if we can. Let's see if we can. Hey, you. Oh, there she is. Whoops. She says, no, I don't really want to say hello. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to get out of your way, Mom, because you know that's where you like me. You like me over there. Only when I'm coloring, because she's at that point. We're at that point in the summer where she is shedding dander like crazy. Hello, Michelle. Did your book arrive yet? I hope it did. I have no idea how long it takes, but it went out on Monday. So anyway, yes, it's just, you know, it's just criminal when young people like that are taken for no freaking reason. You know? Now, this is probably wet, and I'm, you know, sort of doing this. On the other hand, there are those that would argue that there was a good reason, you know, the whole God wanted his angel back and stuff like that. But darn it, doesn't change the way I feel about it. Like I was robbed of a friend. And heck, I didn't even know her. Never had a conversation with her. Didn't know anything about her except other than, other than her YouTube presence and her, Facebook presence. Okay. So, yeah. So this is the second layer. And then the last layer, there'll be a little tweaking. The last layer is actually the gray, and I haven't done it really other than just, like I said, right around in there. Well, I think I did do it a little bit around in there. It's actually very subtle. Oh, really? Okay. She says, Mom, I'd like to lay in the middle of everything, and you're right in my way. Can I have my central place under the camera back? No, you cannot. She's like, fine, then I just won't look at you. I won't do anything cute. I'll just lay here like a lump. So you see the color variation or variegation is starting to come out. Yeah, that's probably it, Daryl Lynn. She is a little bit like that. If she hears me in distress, which of course is a daily occurrence, usually around 7 o'clock when I start to turn on the TV and watch the daily news. Loretta, hello. Uh, it's probably at the post office now. Okay, got it. Excuse me, sweetheart. You kind of have to move. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's a good girl. That's a good girl. I can move this back up to where I can actually work on it. Okay, so that's the second layer there. Oh, 3:36. Okay, we're doing good. Doing good on time. Ooh, sorry. You know how your copy gets that. Ooh, sorry. Look. Icky ock. Copy gets that scummy stuff on top of it if you got it on a heater and it's got cream and sugar in it. Ugh. That was awful. Blech. I love my heater, Susie, but wow. I forgot about that part. Susie sent me that for Christmas 2 years ago, I think. It's a wonderful thing. Okay, so now this one is actually ready for a darker shade. So we obviously I need to darken up that brown a little bit. And a good color to do that. Let's see if that matte brown will work. Not with the yellow. The matte brown will not work with the yellow, but the oak might. Okay. Let's try the oak. Let's try the mighty oak tree. That's bark. I don't want bark, I want oak. And oak actually looks green for reasons beyond my knowledge. The oak, which is sort of a brown color, looks green at the end. So I'm always constantly losing it in my greens because to me it looks green. So I'm just going to add a tiny bit once again, just using the weight of the pencil to increase the contrast coming from under these flowers. So that is one thing that needs doing. Now I can go back to the subtle brown. And now instead of super lightweight, I'm actually being a little more aggressive with putting down a bit of a layer, but I'm keeping it very, very short as far as little tiny strokes. So I really am darkening up that color. I don't want it to be dominant. I just want it to provide good contrast coming out from under this ruffly collar around her face. And as you can see, that gold just blends beautifully with that subtle brown. So now is where we're starting to get a little more serious about the actual color. Okay, so now we've got our tan, again, sort of coming down. We don't need very much of this. And the tan is really more for just the, the shading part of it than it is for layering a lot of color. All right, settle, sweetie. Yeah, because now you're just starting to annoy. Mustard, which also is our very dark gold. Don't want to add very much mustard at this point. Because now it's going to be sort of a fight to keep it light. On the other hand, I want it rich. Okay, and whoops. A little bit more there. And then my sienna gold. Yep, sienna gold. Not touching that white part at all. Oh no. Oh. Well, I certainly wish I hopefully everything will come out okay, Diana. Loretta, no worries. I'm usually cooking midstream on different folks' when I'm watching as well. Okay, and now a tiny, tiny bit of the yellow. Again, just not very much. And the white. Just adding that in to make sure that this area retains a bit of its lightness. Okay, now. Back mine. How many do I need? Oh, I know what happened to the last one. I cried, and I used it to wipe my eyes. Like, what in the world did I do with that paper towel? Okay. So the color, as you layer, just gets richer and richer and shinier for, when you are leaving a nice bright spot. And if your water brush isn't putting out enough water, then just squeeze it on your paper towel, not on the page, but on your paper towel, and get it flowing again. Because sometimes they do that. Sometimes they dry out a bit if you are doing a lot of dabbing off. Okay. So there is that. I feel for people. Yeah, I talked to a couple people that I know who have had. They said it is 10 times worse than any flu they've ever had. So, and they didn't end up in the hospital. So I know for folks that have ended up in the hospital, it's been pretty bad. Okay, now I am much more likely to add a second layer of the Shiraz and the crimson here before I add the orange. But I'm going to try adding the orange or the Sienna Gold right now just to see, but I'm only going to do it on a limited portion. So say from here to here. Once again, this is not an everyone kind of thing. This is this really is But I think that I'm not yet ready on this for the orange. But I'm going to do it because I don't want to run out of time, and it's already I've got 10 minutes left, so. And I want to be able to show it to you. Throwing in I mean, it's truly Sienna Gold, so it's not really an orange until you lay it down over a red, and then it becomes this sort of rich red orange color that is just amazing. Now, normally I would not come to the inside with it, and I'm not going to this time. So I'm just going to approach it from the outside. And when I mean the outside, I'm just meaning sort of the end of the petal. And it doesn't take very much. Just one stroke to the inside. Because you don't want to interrupt the pink and the crimson and the Shiraz, or the the crimson, the Shiraz. You don't want to change those so much as you want to just sort of enhance them. I honestly don't remember where I put it now. So I'm just sort of going over, because this is a glary spot as my light is shining down. So I can't really see it, but hopefully you can. Okay. So you see how quickly you add that in, and it creates that lovely, is it pink? Is it red? Is it orange? Is it all three? I think it's a very natural way for a flower color to look. Especially a beautiful variety of flower that, that you is one of your favorites. See how we're doing so far. Let me back out. Sweetheart, would you please settle? Okay, so this is how we are looking so far. Rats. Okay, something is fearfully wrong. It's the box, Christine. The box. Nothing is straight. Okay. And I've got too much. There's glare. Make the glare go away. All right. I am not unhappy with that. Now I'm sure there is a glitter gel pen for our little girl here. Let's take out this beautiful case of these wonderful Color-It gel pens that Kenny, the bless her soul, sent me. And we'll open that up, and we will find an orange. I think, and orange. Now, I did swatch these. Here are the swatches. I think that the brick is the right choice. Maybe the hot, yeah. Nope, I think the brick is the right choice. So the C213. C213. All right, so this is brick. It's more orange than it is red. Once again, trying to just leave that little bit of a white space for that. Her mouth is closed. And then we'll give her green eyes. Only up. Oh, you can't see that, can you? Yeah. I think that's in focus. So all I'm doing, I'm keeping it just very, very simple. Right? Just leaving a little bit of a highlight there at the top. That one is too big. And then I can add another one in with the white jelly. Let's get it started. Right in the center. I don't know. I'm not very good at this. Plus, it's sort of microscopic. There we go. Although her eye is a little wild. I probably need to redo that. I need to redo it with a magnifying glass. But I can show you we'll give her, no, we'll use the crimson. We'll use the crimson, and I'll show you what I mean as far as the cheeks go. You see, that's just the tiniest bit, right? Wait. Oh, Nanimo is beautiful. However, yes, ours is not to tease one another, Thomas. Just saying. Okay. So that, I mean, literally, that one drop or one tap. Sweetheart, I love you, but get down. Yep, you're on my last nerve. You need to go. Literally, that one tap is enough to do the entire, to just to add a little blush. And that's really all you need, right? You just need a little lipstick and a little blush and a little mascara, and you're good to go, right? So anyway, that means I know, right? It took me a while to start to, and Nanamo's shortening of words are totally different because she's in England. It took me forever to figure out what she was talking about when she was talking about totes. I'm like, totes? What are totes? Totally. That's what totes means. Totally. I love it. Okay. So I am starting to get really darn pleased with how this is coming out. It obviously, all right, now this is what I mean. You see, because I didn't add the second layer of the Shiraz and the crimson, which I should have done over here. Do you see how much lighter this one, this little section here is compared to either of these? Now, I will say that this was with the double section of the Shiraz, double layers of the Shiraz crimson, and again with the fire red or the chili red. And this one was skipped the chili red second layer and went to the orange instead. And I wanted to see what the difference was between these two. I like this one better, so that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and enhance a second layer of the Shiraz and the crimson, then add another layer of the chili red, and then the final layer of the gold. And I think I'll end up with a whole flower that looks like this. Although, a variation of the way that a flower looks in the light is going to be different. Unfortunately, this variation is sort of in the wrong place. So what I need is lightness along all of the edges of these petals. So I've achieved it here, but I didn't quite hit it here, and it got even worse as I went out. So that is, I think, how, yeah, Thomas, stop, as in now. And anyway, okay, so yeah, so I'm pretty happy with it. Now, I do have this that I sort of screwed up. I do want to see if I can fix it a little bit. I just want to take some white, and I'm not even going to activate that with, but you see how it went over that little bit of thank you, Kim. And Thomas, when a moderator speaks to you and says they will time you out, they have my full permission to do it. So that is how that works. That's why I love the white. Now, if I took it and hit it with a little water at this point, it disappears, but when it dries again, it will be opaque. But I can also go in and add it. Once again, the eye isn't really going to see that imperfection if I've covered it over with just a tiny, tiny bit. Thank you, Kim. And if I cover it over with just a tiny, tiny bit of the Inktense and then don't activate it. The other option, of course, is to use the white gel or actually a white Posca. Or I could even use, let's see. There it is. I have a white calligraphy ink. I could, take it there and then go over that again once it's dry with the CalArt skin tone marker, and it would also disappear. So you can fix things in a number of ways. And, so if you do end up with something like that, where you've gone into a truly light tone and you can't back it out, there are a lot of different ways to fix it. Okay. And on that note, moderators, thank you so very much. Shara, I am aware, and had you, I made you a mod once, you didn't want to be one. But you are absolutely right. If you are disturbing somebody in chat and they speak to you several times about it and you still don't listen, actually, if they speak to you once about it and you don't listen, by the second time that they speak to you, my moderators already know that they have my permission because I trust them. I have chosen my moderators carefully, and they are good at their jobs. Their job is to make the people in this room or this stream feel safe and protected from trouble of any kind. We don't do drama here. No drama, man. This is a no drama zone. Anyway, everybody, I am 5 minutes overdue, and I'm certain that I am in other people's times. So I hope, as always, that you have enjoyed being here today. I do apologize. Please know that I will address, I'll read back the stream and address on a more, listen to the folks who saw it happen, and we'll make some decisions from there. So, Thomas, be on your best behavior. Please be on your best behavior. Until we all meet again, hopefully next Sunday, please color something pretty. Hugs to everybody. Have a safe week. And know how much it means to me that you are all here today. And bye, everybody. Oh, wait. Don't go. Wait, don't go. Hang on, there's a coupon for you. There's a 25% off coupon. New people, hello, I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you, new people. If you are here and you don't own any of my books, but would like to, and you use PayPal, you use Etsy at all, there is a 25% discount coupon for you to use in my Etsy shop. It does only work on books or sets. The sets are the ones that are priced $5, and the books, of course, are $7.50, I think, $7.95. But they include, it's the full PDF. It's also got all the travel size set that are included in it, when you buy a book, that kind of thing. So Now, until we meet again, color something pretty. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you, mods, for all you do.